Today on News with Noah, we're talking Bitcoin, crypto, that's popular. Bitcoin's price has gone from around $10,000 in October of last year to almost $40,000 in January of 2021 by the time you're watching this. And I am a Bitcoin millionaire. People like me should not have money because I just don't spend it. I'm working on giving it. I'm working on giving, all right? So if I can give you some, leave a comment and I will send you some crypto or something good in the mail. But in this video, I'm gonna tell you how I got actually to become a Bitcoin millionaire. I'm gonna share my thoughts on Bitcoin and whether you should invest in it or not. As well, you shouldn't listen to me because I got pretty much lucky. I'm a bad investor, and what I'm really good at is creating companies like AppSumo.com. But hopefully I can share some experiences, some failures, some success around this Bitcoin stuff to help you on your own money journey. Most of us actually need a lot less money than we think, but what is up with Bitcoin? People are getting rich from it. Everyone's chasing it, and when people are chasing things, maybe it's time to go somewhere else and let all the fools chase. So my story for crypto is in 2010 when I started AppSumo.com, the #1 marketplace for entrepreneurs. You should make sure you check it out. The developer, Nick Johnson, was mining Bitcoin at University of Texas at Austin. And he said, Noah, do you want to do any of this? Do you want to buy any of this? Do you want to get any of it? And I was like, no, I want real dollars. I don't want any of your fake Farmville credit virtual currency. So he started mining crypto when it was worth like 0.00001. And every single person out there has some annoying story. I think the thing I want to highlight there is there's probably a lot of things you didn't do that you're not regretting, and maybe this is the one that you are. So I think you have to be mindful of like, how did you make the decisions at that time? So around 2013, within the AppSumo story, Chad, who's one of the smartest people I know, is the CTO of our company, and everyone at the business bought Bitcoin, and I did not. I think it was around $200 to $400 a share, and then prices went up to 1,000. I definitely was a little jealous, and I was happy for them, and I really didn't care that much. But mostly just made fun of him. I was like, enjoy your fake money. And it went down from 1,000 back down to 300. I don't know if you guys remember that. But Bitcoin is like the funnest roller coaster of your money. Just seeing it go up and down over the years. And so I kind of was just okay without it. And then in around 2015, I wanted to buy an illegal NFL stream. I know crypto got popular on Silk Road. People were trying to buy Bitcoin for drugs. I'm trying to watch the 49ers lose the Super Bowl. So I went to a site called seasons4u.com, which I still pay for, and they said, we only accept Bitcoin. Isn't that crazy? Because of NFL streams, I became a Bitcoin millionaire. So I bought some Bitcoin, I sent it to the site, and now I'm still watching my streams from there. And what was interesting is that I got it. Not that I got the Bitcoin, but I got that this is gonna be used. The network fees are gonna be lower over time, and it's kind of like the universal currency that people can't just automatically print more of, and I understood it. So I think for yourself out there, with all the new types of technology, whether it's in VR, maybe 3D printing, maybe it's AR, maybe it's cryptocurrency, it's easy to dismiss the stuff. It's easy just to buy it blindly or just, oh, let me just go in without having any idea. So I think go and experience stuff. And then you might actually say, all right, I get it, or I don't get it, or I'm gonna make a decision I don't like it. So I recommend that for kind of like all the tech that's coming out there. After I bought my first Bitcoin and I saw like, oh wow, this is really interesting. You can transact with it. You can store wealth with it. I bought around $7,000 worth at $400 a share. But here's the part that was actually the most interesting. I turned on auto buying. So every month I bought $500 worth, and that alone turned into $1 million of Bitcoin. So let's actually take a look at my crypto wallet and how much I've made since 2016. You wanna see? All right, so let's take a look at my crypto wallet. Please don't hack me. And I know I should do this offline and hardware and all this other stuff, but it looks like I bought my first crypto, I had like around 2,000 in April 2016 to buy some of the streams for sports. It went up to like $500,000. And I remember I was in bed with my friend Neville on the phone, not in bed with him. And he's like, should we sell? And I was like, I'm never selling this stuff. And it cratered back down to around $80,000. And what was interesting about this was always funny money to me. And so I didn't really care, and I kind of knew this is something I'm just gonna be holding on to forever. And so it was nice to not have to think about that or let that affect my day-to-day emotions. I don't know how you feel about that with your different investing styles. I did buy a little bit of Ethereum around this time, and as Ethereum kind of went up and down, I was like, sell Ethereum and just put all into Bitcoin and just keep my stuff focused. So I do think one of the key things, again, is the auto buying, is that the fact that it was $500 a month, it just kind of kept going. It wasn't enough that I had to worry about how much is gonna get bought or not bought. So I really appreciated that, as well as that as I felt more comfortable with it and my asset allocation of risky investments, I wanted to get to 10% of my net worth risky, and it was still low, like 3%. So I increased my auto buying. I think now I'm doing around $5,000 to $7,000 a month. As of right now, I'm doing around $5,000 a month of auto buying between Ethereum and Bitcoin. I will say one thing for this experience, as well as like Tesla stock and some of this stuff, it's fun to be a part of the game. So whether you have a lot of money or you make like, you have a normal salary, make 50K a year, even if you get a little bit, it kind of makes it a little bit of fun to wake up and just see how like your score is doing each day. So my actual gains of how much I've probably spent on this, I think I've probably put in somewhere between 60 to 70,000 So the returns are pretty astronomical. One of the ways that Ashwat Damadoran, who's one of my mentors, I would say, in guides for investing, is you have some of your standard investments, which are going to be lower risk. So like Apple's probably not going to double in a year. So you want to allocate some of your money to that. And then you also, as he calls them, 10 baggers. So you put in some of the money, you're like, this could totally go to 0, or this could 10x or more. And you have to be okay that it's going to be more risky. And so that was why I have this in my risky asset allocation. One other thing that I'm doing in crypto lately, and I was really skeptical. I don't know about you, but Jewish people were just default skeptical. I use BlockFi. So what they do is that if you have crypto, you're getting around 6 to 8% putting literally on, put your Bitcoin with them. What I do is I use USDC. So they literally have a coin that's matched 1-for-1 with dollars, and you just store it on their site, and they give you 8% a month at the time of this video. I think there's something really interesting about that. So if you have cash just in a checking or savings account, this is where I've put, looks like about 100,000, and I'm moving more money into that soon. You can also liquidate it really, really quickly, which is where I would be cautious if I couldn't otherwise. What's interesting is if you think about the internet in 99, would people ever expect like the phone and all the ways that it's taken over?
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Can you explain what internet is?
What is internet anyway?
Internet is that
Massive computer network.
the one that's becoming really big now.
There's been some theories that Bitcoin is kind of at that same level, like it's just at the beginning, the 1999 level of where the internet was at. One thing that I've been doing more recently with around $10,000 is kind of doing like the next level of 10x baggers. Now that Bitcoin and Ethereum are a little bit more known, so there's like Uniswap, AAV, Compound, Chainlink, VeChain, Dot, and Cardano. So those are the other ones that I've been kind of my next 10x baggers. What I think about investing a lot of the time, and this is from my stepfather, is that by the time everyone's talking about it and rushing into it, probably too late for the huge ass upsides. So just be mindful of that. With these new up and coming ones, it's honestly like lottery tickets. And I think lottery tickets are stupid tax. For me, honestly, the volatility for this amount, it's not enough that I worry about the money. It's just fun. For me, my investing style is literally buy things that I would never sell. So I own Apple, I own the products stocks that a lot of you own. And this stuff as well, like I can see this being used as like a transactional value in some in the future. My plan is never to sell it. I think the thing to be mindful is look at your asset allocation and also be aware of your risk tolerance. So I am not a risky investor. I don't want to be thinking like, oh my God, if this doesn't go up, I'm not going to be able to feed myself or pay my rent. I allocate now around 15% of my net worth to that. So maybe you can do the math, but those numbers obviously with Bitcoin fluctuate really big. And so you just have to be comfortable with that. Either go all in on it or do the dollar cost averaging, which worked out really well for me. Some of the upsides and downsides, there's an opportunity cost of putting money in Bitcoin, which is what else could I have invested that money in? In the same time period, I put $25,000 into a bar called Stereotype in Austin. That's out of business. Put $15,000 into a church. I got $7,000 back, so I lost money on that. What my friend said, which I thought was really interesting, is what is the upside downside of these types of investments? So what I mean by that is the same amount of money I'm putting in this, what's the upside? The upside is a 10x. The downside is it can go all the way to 0. My asset allocation, because I'm not a risky investor, I like knowing where my money is at all times. I know people, your money's wasting money. Shut up. I just like knowing where it is. I don't want to worry about it. I'd rather focus on the big money making, which is appsuma.com and growing our business. So my asset allocation is 20% cash, 30% real estate, 35% long-term in equities, and then 15% risky. And obviously if you're heavy in one, I don't want to move it. So right now I'm heavier in cash. I'm actually more around like 50% cash. And so what I did is say, well, what's my target around equities and this risky? And each month moving more money into that and out of cash instead of all at once. That is how I like to approach my investing in general. Results may vary. You got to choose your own preferences. So one of the questions is, should you be investing in Bitcoin? If you have no money and you're praying that this is going to get you rich, don't. I don't believe in hope or prayers in business. I think that Bitcoin is a really interesting asset. I think it's really volatile, so you're gonna have a wild ride of it. But what I would recommend is putting in a little bit each month into this, as well as into maybe some more long-term equities like stocks or index funds out there. I would probably do Bitcoin or Ethereum. There's more nerdy people out there somewhere on the YouTube channel that are gonna talk about, oh, this is why the blockchain and all this stuff. I'm not here to talk to you about that. I think you choose your allocation of real estate, cash, risky stuff, and as well as equities. And then just make sure that you're moving towards those directions. So should you invest in Bitcoin? I am. I can't tell you what the hell to do. For me, I'm putting in 5 to 7K a month, and then I am doing buys throughout the month, like a $10,000 buy of Ethereum here and there. I haven't been putting as much into Bitcoin. Psychologically, what I think is that people are seeing Bitcoin at 40,000. They're like, well, what's the next best? And they're like, oh, that's only 1,300. It's cheap. Plus, a lot of my nerdy friends are like, oh, Ethereum, man, it's got all this cool stuff. I don't really fully get that, so I've been putting more into Ethereum directly throughout the month. My suggestion is that if you are poor or you're just starting out in your career, I wouldn't do this as a hope of getting rich. I did it as like, I thought it'd be fun. I think it's part of the future and I'm okay if the money goes away. What I'd recommend for you is go and do dollar cost averaging and even a little bit amount to be a part of the game. And what I would prefer you do is try to do things so that you can control the success of the outcome. So you can control your YouTube channel, you can control your software business or your e-commerce store. You can't really control the price of Bitcoin, nor should you pray that, you know, your Apple or Tesla stock is gonna triple. These are not normal times. I think one thing that's interesting is that if it goes back down to about $500,000, I wouldn't sell and I would just keep holding on to it. The point here is that this is my risky investment. This is not my retirement investment. I think what's interesting as well with some of this Bitcoin shit is, you know who's gonna be the winner? Coinbase. It's the ones who are the exchanges. Coins themselves, I think I'm rambling on this whole fucking video. Hopefully there's some coherentness. But it is a new style of format where I'm talking about trending topics. I'm sharing my own numbers and my own insights on how I made some of these decisions. But if you liked it, let me know in the comment. If you hated it or you want me to do more of these trending topics as well, let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I want to do more of these videos for you. I fucking love making videos for you and talking about Bitcoin or Schmittcoin or Trump or Tesla or Biden or talk about whatever. We can even talk about food. Kombucha. Kombucha's hot. Are people still drinking kombucha? This month I am going to be giving away a company that I buy to a subscriber. So if you're not subscribed to the channel but you want a company for free, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so I can hopefully give you a company in the future. I'll see you out there and I love you.